Hey Elevator, and welcome back to this meditation practice where we'll be guiding you through the Tantric Bated Breath process. This is designed to stimulate, create that inner fire, awaken and illuminate you from the inside so that you can really start to feel your vibrant energy.
Yeah, it's amazing what happens when we develop willpower. Willpower a lot of times for most people is not that strong, and it's only because we haven't developed it. We haven't spent time noticing and finding the energy that's inside us. When we talk about chakras and we talk about things like that, sometimes it's confusing. It's like, well, am I supposed to see something? Do I feel something?
Do I stand on my left foot?
Yeah, it's like, what are we really talking about? So when you do exercises like this, the idea is for you to start to find that energy. We're going to be pumping the diaphragm a lot in this exercise. And what that ends up happening is you get this buzzing feeling from the inside. And it's that buzzing that you can start to find out there in regular life when you're doing whatever it is that matters to you. And it's going to be that willpower. Once you know how to build it, that gives that willpower, that pump, and suddenly you feel like you can do anything. So times where you lacked motivation or times where you had a goal but then you fell off, well, it's because of willpower. It's because you just didn't stay in the game long enough. You didn't have that consistency or you didn't have that focus.
Or the energetic reserve.
Right, so a lot of that comes back to this. It's developing that, like strengthening that muscle, but also noticing it. Noticing, is it lacking right now? Is it time for me to re-up? Or am I really good and everything is going just the way I want it to?
So you really can be in control of your energy through this very simple practice. So let's dive in.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. The first way to do this, starting off, I want you to breathe only through your nose. Do not open your mouth during this exercise. Don't be a mouth breather. So you're gonna take a big breath in. And then you're going to breathe out like this. So it makes a little sound, but coming out of the nose. And you're going to pump the diaphragm each time. So it's explosive exhales. And then you're going to passively inhale back again. But nice long passive inhale and then hit.
It's like you're pulsing out the breath until you get to the very end. So instead of one fluid out breath, it's just a constant but through the nose.
Yeah, and if you'll find that you just want to focus on the exhale. The inhale typically will take care of itself. So we're going to get to the end of that breath. You can continue to pulse after that if you want. We're going to do a few rounds of this together so you'll get the idea. Eventually you'll turn this into not a breathing exercise and eventually it'll become a mental exercise. You can pump the diaphragm without making sounds, but you have to do this enough time. So eventually this becomes an energy thing. For now it's physical. So let's do the physical. So breathe in.
Yeah, and you're pumping hold on, chakra talk. That should be a freaking podcast. That would be so cute. When you're pumping the diaphragm, you've heard that saying that your gut is the second brain. This is how you're building that extra energy, because if we're talking chakra talk, then this is your solar plexus. This is where your willpower lives. This is where your internal battery lives. So when you have the motivation to do stuff, it's because your third chakra is lit up and activated and flowing. If you're someone who lacks that motivation, it's because that energy is clogged in that physical area, in the belly. So this will really help to stimulate it on a physical and energetic level to help get that momentum going. So I think just giving that little concept.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's do it together.
Okay, carry on.
Big breath in through the nose. I'm just gonna pump it. Big breath in. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Everybody. I'm just gonna show the pumping. And the other trick here is when you're exhaling it and pulsing it out, it's not pulsing it out and breathing air back in, although that will happen a little bit naturally. It's more about taking a big breath in and seeing if you can just pump and just like squeeze all the air out of the lungs, rather than it just being a inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. That would be another type of breath work and actually activating a lot of fire energy. It can make you dizzy really quick. So if you find yourself getting dizzy, it's because you're oxygenating your mind, your body, and it's getting those like endorphins going. This is how you get high on your own supply, as according to Wim Hof.
Yeah, so I like to do the seated especially if you are one of the people that gets dizzy or lightheaded, that's fantastic. Again, eventually this will become a mental exercise. You want to find where that spot is. You should get a little bit of tingles. The other thing that's really important to do, the even more most important thing besides the breathing, is after you're done, after you've done a few rounds of this, sit, close your eyes. Where do you feel it? Where's the energy in your body? Where's it spreading to? How is it moving? How does that feel and how does that work for you? Because the better that you can recognize that, the better you can be in control of what your body and mind are experiencing. And once you can control that, you can figure out how you want to respond or how you want to react in different situations. It's very powerful practice, but it's very subtle at the same time. And it takes repetition. It takes doing this consistently for time to figure out, what am I actually doing and how is it affecting me?
Yeah, you've heard that other saying, you know, count to 10 before you respond, but like, who's gonna do that? But I have been able to train myself to just at least take a big deep breath in, a little longer than normal, and just give myself that moment to like, is it gonna be old me or present me? And so it's a really powerful tool. So I think we should do that one more time to activate that energy so that we can sit in that meditation of feeling that energy swirling through the body. And here's a really cool trick. You can take that energy, once you start to feel where your energetic battery is in your body, you can start to move that around your body with your mind and your intention. I know it sounds like, am I doing this right? But your intention is so powerful. So I want you to just imagine, once you start to feel that tingling, if there's somewhere in your body that needs a re-energizing or a little de-stressing, move that energy with your mind and your breath. Imagine pulling that energy up to, well, for me, as a hairdresser, you know, it's the shoulders. So I pull that energy up and let it sit up in my shoulders, like, just moving that around to relax. So that obviously is a little more advanced, but really an easy thing to do. It's just knowing that you have the power to do it.
Yeah, it's always adding on a little bit of layers. That's why you can always come back to an exercise like this 6 months later, a year later. You can just add a nuance to it. You find that there's a little bit more juice to squeeze out of it. This is one of those practices that you can do for, decades, and still you didn't even figure out, you didn't scratch the surface yet. It's very, very, very powerful. So one more round.
Yeah, let's do it.
Big breath in. Pump it. You feel the tingles? There's tingles. One thing that I like to do too is that I like to, while I'm doing the exercise, there's a moment where I start to feel it. There's a moment where it comes alive. I normally nod my head when that happens. And I've done that a bunch of times so that now when my head nods, I know that I'm there without thinking about it. My body naturally does that. So you can add a little, again, you can add little things on. It's amazing what you can discover about yourself and how much in control that you can be when you do these practices.
I feel like I'm seeing cross-eyed right now.
Yeah.
Just like being so like, woo, tingly and energetic. I've moved that energy up afterward and brought it up into my shoulders, as I mentioned. And now I can just kind of feel my energy is like a little floaty. So notice how powerful you are with just a simple breathwork practice. If you want to kick it up a notch, try this for 5 minutes and see how you really cultivate and generate that energy within. Until then, we'll catch you next time. Peace. Chi-Chi's up. First video of the year.
Let's get it.
2024. Let's go. What are we doing? No, I'm just kidding. Hey, Elevator, and welcome back to this meditation practice. Right? Meditation? Okay, I just had to get it out.